Hello everybody. This video is going to be a little different than anything else I did, and part of it has to do with the Christmas/New Year's holidays, because we ended up getting, and when I say we, I mean myself and my 4.5-year-old, ended up getting from another relative this Lego set, which, first of all, I've never seen a Lego this big. We have some Legos. I love putting it together. It's again with a 4.5-year-old. It's not always easy. And honestly, at this point, he likes to play with it, but putting it together is definitely not his thing. So we're very fortunate and we're very lucky to have this Lego Technic Liebherr R 9800 excavator. I mean, the age, it says 12 plus. Well, I mean, I qualify that. I'm 12 plus times 3. So that's not an issue. But honestly, I'm questioning my ability to even put this thing together. First of all, this thing is huge. I mean, it weighs a lot. Like, I can barely pick it up with one hand. The box is huge. It looks like it has a remote control, which is unlike any other Lego that I've ever seen. It looks like there's Bluetooth. There's something that needs to be downloaded. Bluetooth, I'm guessing that means movement. So there's that. Got some battery requirement. Looks like there's some motors. Let's see. Oh, God. What is this? Yeah, there's like 3 motors. I guess you can submerge it. I don't know what that means. Like, if you get it wet, you got to wipe it off. I don't know, why would anybody, try to swim with their Lego set. Yeah, so there's that. So over the next month or so, I will probably be putting this thing together. Oh, wow, I gotta check the back of this thing, but I need 2 hands. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, over the next couple months, I think I will be putting this thing together. I'm going to try to time lapse it. But it looks like this is like the real deal technical stuff. So it's got 2 16-cylinder V engines. So I'm guessing that's 32 cylinder. It has a capacity of 4,649 gallons of fuel. It weighs 800 tons. And it's got 4,000 horsepower. I'm guessing that's the real, the real deal here. So, yeah, and I'm honestly, I mean, I love Legos, and yeah, it's just a little different, but I would want to kind of put it together and maybe play with it and kind of show you what does it take to put together this ginormous set. Like I said, I can't even imagine freaking size of this thing. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm going to open up the box to see what the manual even looks like before I set off. All right, so I opened up the box. As you can see, I don't even know how many parts there are. Usually they put the part count somewhere here, but I mean, I don't think it's 42,100. So I don't know. I don't see anywhere the part count, but I'm guessing it's over a couple thousand. There's no way that this can be any less than this. So I opened up the box. First thing, we got the scoop or the bucket. I mean, that thing is huge, right? You can compare it to my hand. It's almost the length and the width of my hand. We got tons of parts. It looks like there is a box. There's a box besides the main box. I'm guessing that's where all the motors are. I don't know. It's just a giant black box, so I don't know what that is all about. All right, so when I find the manual in there, and it looks like there's a secondary box, but I can't get to it because maybe if I open it from the other side. I mean, I just want to kind of show you the manual before we set off. So let's see. All right, so opening the box from the other side netted this box, and then this box is full of parts. But I know that this thing has a million parts, and I guess the biggest thing is that you got this other bag with some decals, which is fine. That's not a problem. But at the same time, like, we got these manuals. There's 2 manuals. I don't know why they wanted to make 2 manuals. But, you know, I can tell you this. I had some college grade textbooks that were thinner than this. So I don't know how many pages there are. 370, so maybe 379. So 372 in this one. And then how many pages do you think there are here? 366, 67, and 68. All right, so yeah, about 900. So 600, yeah, about 720-ish something pages. All right, well, God help me. This is definitely a very long-term project. Oh, okay, so 4210, that's probably the kit, like the model of the kit. All right, well, here goes nothing. I don't know. I hope you like it. I'll definitely enjoy building it for the next God knows how long, and we'll see if this beast can do what it's supposed to do. Here we go. All right, so starting off with my kid, for some reason he also got a UPS truck here. He got very excited. You can kind of see my face. I wasn't sure how to properly film this thing because, again, never had to film it. Doing this as a little side project. Although, like I said, I love Legos. This is kind of a dream come true. No idea what I'm getting myself into. So many parts, and there will be like a mid-process update. And when I say mid, I mean after spending like the first 3 hours. So obviously this kit is not for a 4.5-year-old. I am actually questioning the whole 12-year-old thing because, once again, just the whole complexity and some of the feedback that I'll be giving once I kind of put myself through this process. Yeah, trust me, he's interested. You can kind of see the little hands, and he kind of grabs a piece, runs away, and then comes back. So definitely not something for him, but you know, it's a good learning, at least, you know, so he understands kind of what it involves in the books. Also, once again, textbook type of material here, and the complexity of it. I mean, yeah, there's a ton of small parts, but at the same time, a lot of the parts, they are repetitive. And you know, we're doing this on a kid's table. Preferably, it's best to do it on the floor because parts, they do roll around. Just challenging, to say the least. All right, let's watch. All right, so this was the first portion of this video, and after about 3 hours, this is what we got. This is steps 1 through 45. All right, so 45 steps, 3 hours. Okay. Obviously, this is the most intense Lego set I've ever had. I'm definitely looking forward to completing it, and I am having fun, so I'm not doing this because, you know, I have to. Got it as a gift. Obviously, my 4.5-year-old, there's no way he would be able to put this together, you know, for another, at least for another 5 to 6 years. So I am enjoying this. We have several Lego sets, but obviously nothing as involved and in depth and, you know, with a manual like this. And this is just one of the manuals. You know, there's a second one that's about as big. So here's a few things for anyone who considers, you know, this stuff. First of all, yeah, this is intense. This is expensive. We are lucky to have it as a gift. But besides that, here are all the parts. And yeah, the part situation. So this is the problem that I have not experienced with any other Lego sets, is that usually when you get a Lego set, you know, you get bags. Now, some larger sets have a lot more bags. You know, some of the little ones could have 1 or 2. Smaller ones can have more. But I don't understand, why do we have multiple of the same bags? So here you go. Look at this. Here's a bag number 5. There's 4 bags number 5. There's a bunch of them. And here's, you know, once again, bag number 3 there, bag number 3 there. So what they do is, on occasion, they do try and like give you a full bag of like the same parts, which is good. But then they throw in all this little extra crap in there. So I don't understand why couldn't they just put, you know, like if it requires 34 bags, then just put 34 bags and group the parts accordingly. You see, even Edward the cat is freaking out over there. So what I ended up doing, you know, so step number 1 included a lot of parts number 1. And, you know, they tried, it looks like they did try to group the parts, but they really messed that up, because here, I'm trying to take everything out. You know, they're grouping like, you know, so they have wheels there. Okay, great. Bag number 1. But then they have some of the other stuff there. And then, you know, sometimes you have to assemble here, like here's another bag with other types of wheels. So if you're going to group wheels together, then just give me a bag of different wheels. So at least I know, oh, it's a wheel. I'm going to go to this bag. So here's another mess. Had a lot of different components, you know, in step number 1, with a lot of different one of these little parts. So I don't understand why couldn't they just give me a bag with all the small parts instead of separating it even further. So I ended up being very frustrated and just throwing it all together, because obviously all of this stuff rolls around. Doing it on the floor, I guess, is an option, but you know, I can't lean over for so long. So I ended up using this little table that we use for arts and crafts. So anyway, you know, we're still nowhere near finished step number 1. I don't know when am I ever going to get to these parts. You know, this is still step 1. And step number 1 involves, you see, here, all they did is just said, oh, okay, bag number 1. And then my first thing was like, well, which one? There's like 8 different bags number 1. So, yeah. So we're going to be building this bottom chassis. That's like that's still, you know, on page 46. We're still on that step 1. Plus, there's a whole box of motors. And the motors, which are weird, they're all different ones, but these are not even numbered or labeled. So, you know, I don't understand. Why couldn't they put, you know, use motor number 1, use motor number 2? Because, you know, to me, these look similar, but if you look at them a little closer, they're actually a little bit different. So I was like, well, which one do I use? So anyway, I know I am griping. But once again, I am enjoying the process. It's just the problem happens when, you know, it's not the intense complexity of the process, because Lego does make it very simple, you know, follow the directions and, you know, and you're going to end up with something more complex. Fine. But where the biggest challenge is to find the part, you know, it's the which bag do I go to type of problem, then it's becomes a little frustrated and but then when you do find this part, I guess you get a little dopamine drip. So anyway, I'm going to proceed. Let's see how far we're going to get.